welcome to Just Us Thinking, the After Show. We just recorded our intro, didn't we?
We did.
What'd you think?
It was pretty fun.
Pretty fun?
Yeah.
A lot harder than you thought it was going to be, isn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah, Mikey, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty fun. A lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it is. So, well, now here's the thing. Your job now kicks in. Because now, after this, not only do you have to edit the main show, but now you're going to have to edit the after show.
Yes, I am.
It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just decide, well, I'm going to do a show, and then this is what it's going to be, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of editing that'll have to go into that.
Yep. And then, so you're just scratching the surface. So you're new, and you're going to be doing this hopefully in school, right?
I sure hope so.
So when we did your sign-in for schools for next year, what was it? Video and sound editing?
Yeah, video and audio.
Video and audio. So, learning this is going to get you a head start, and then hopefully you can bring some of that back and make the show better, right?
Yeah.
Outdo your dad one of these days.
Yeah. He still hasn't bowled a 300, remember?
That's true.
And there's a Mustang on the line. I'm willing to make that same bet with you.
Okay.
You want a Mustang?
Sure.
Mustangs for everybody.
All right. I'm good with that.
So, and I know we just finished the introduction. We went through the news stories, and then immediately you get a new story about airlines now.
Yeah.
What's going on now?
So I had to call United.
United Airlines, okay.
I had 4 or 5 people traveling to Germany, and the gate agent there told them, "Oh, your ticket's not good for your return flight."
So you get to Germany and you're stuck.
Yeah.
No.
I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And she was going on and telling me about what was in the record and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, so what do you think about this thing with American that they're rolling out Monday? I was like, well, I haven't really. I've heard of it, just haven't really researched it.
What are they rolling out? What's their game plan, I guess?
I can't remember exactly what it's called. I know it's called an NDC.
NDC, but you don't know what the initials are?
I don't remember right now because
okay.
I didn't look it up yet.
Okay.
But she sent me an article about it, how they're supposed to be basically cutting all ties with travel management companies.
So basically what you do, American wants to cut ties with corporations.
Correct. And they want to focus on their leisure travelers.
So, and I don't know the numbers, so I mean, how many people fly commercially leisurely and how many people fly commercial or business travel?
I don't know the exact numbers either, but
I would say it's pretty high. I mean,
I would say business travel is probably their
bread and butter, right?
Yeah, because you have people traveling every day of the week.
Right. As us normal folks, we're going to take a vacation maybe once a year.
Right.
That's a big one like that.
Yeah.
But your Lacey just went to Florida, right?
Right.
That was a big trip. How many times do they take that trip?
Once a year.
Right. So if they're only doing that once a year, I get it. There's a lot of people. You have your Lacey's and your Chris and everybody that's taking a different vacation.
Yeah.
But your corporate people are traveling all the time,
every
right?
Day, every week. Yeah. So the next couple of weeks should be interesting on how that goes.
So is the other airlines following suit with American?
They were all supposed to roll it out this April 1st, but the other airlines said they weren't ready to do it. And American said, well, we are, so we'll do it.
So American is the guinea pigs?
Yes.
So what happens, what do you anticipate happening if American fails? If American Airlines fails this endeavor they're trying, what would be the outcome?
Not sure because they laid off a lot of people already.
Oh, so this caused people lost their jobs over this decision.
So they've pretty much the corporate sales people that go out and sell the contracts. They let a lot of them go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they losing money in this thing or?
I don't think so.
Just doesn't seem. That's wow.
Yeah.
Way to shoot yourself in the foot, American.
Right?
Well, and I think the other airlines are going to let's see how bad they go.
Yeah.
I'm sure if American loses all business, then these other companies are we're not going to do what they're doing.
Well, and they'll get another bailout, so then they'll have they'll keep operating, and they're going to have to
Why government stop bailing out companies making stupid decisions?
Right.
So they're basically shooting themselves in the foot, and then they're going to go to Uncle Sam and saying, "Help us, we're losing money."
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, yeah.
Or they're going to go bankrupt, but it's going to be their own damn fault.
Let them go bankrupt. Maybe we need to let these big corporations that do stupid things like that, come up with, live with it.
The only problem with that is think of the hundreds of thousand employees they have, though.
Well, those flights aren't going away, right? So that means United is going to end up buying a lot of the old American Airlines, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to end up... flights are going to be flights.
Well, then United's going to go bankrupt because they're not going to be able to afford anything.
Well, you know what? I'd much rather give a bailout to United who's picking up and giving them some money so they're not doing something stupid like this.
That's true.
And then let's give some money to someone that's actually trying to help the situation instead of someone that is self-inflicting wounds on themselves.
Right.
That's just... and I'm kind of torn with because I'm in the car industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm really torn on a lot of the manufacturers like Chevy, Ford, Dodge. A lot of the companies here have said, we're not delivering cars anymore. So the car line went away. So
that's stupid too.
Right. Not everybody likes an SUV. Some
Correct.
people just want a car.
A car. A Ford or a car.
Yeah, it's just crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand. I get it. If a vehicle's not selling,
then don't make it.
Then don't make it. I mean, I
don't
can count
sell 4 or 5 different cars. Narrow it down to 2 or 3.
Right. I mean, I remember having a Mercury Tracer back in the day.
No.
They don't make that car anymore.
No.
The Ford Pinto, that's done. So, I mean, it's not like unheard of saying, yeah, we're discontinuing that line. But discontinuing a whole car, and the biggest problem that I have here with the car industry is cars keep getting bigger and parking spaces keep getting smaller.
Yeah.
And Americans keep getting bigger. This scenario, something has to give.
Right.
And I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, that's interesting. So.
And it's going to be interesting because, you have the people out of Philadelphia that Americans, their people, or Charlotte, where those are the major hubs.
Oh, those are their major hubs?
Yeah. So you have all these people that, we're trying to push away from selling American, but they're going to want to book it anyway because that's their...
Oh, so you guys are actively saying, yeah, let's not book American?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder,
a lot of travel companies are.
So that's... yeah. So all the corporate travel agents are like, okay, American made this decision, so guess what? We'll try to book any other airline other than American, and we'll only book them if we absolutely have to. Is that what the game plan is?
Pretty much.
Well, that's yeah.
I mean, we've even taken them off our online booking platform that we have. They come down last now.
Well,
last.
What do you expect that's going to happen? I mean, when you make those decisions, and you got to live with consequences.
Yep.
We do a lot of gaming. Wizards of the Coast did a lot of things with D&D, where they wanted a lot of their artists to lose the ability to have their stuff that they did. They wanted Wizards of the Coast, who owns D&D, wanted to own all of that. And
greedy.
Well, yeah, greedy. It's basically corporate greed.
Yeah.
And so what they did was there's now now all these free markets came in. Everybody backed out of some agreement that they had. They just lost big time for it when they could have made so much better.
Right.
You don't do that to your clientele.
Exactly.
You don't alienate your source. Yeah, it's company loyalty nowadays. It's not just there's no company loyalty.
No, it's...
You don't get a gold watch anymore.
No.
There's nothing like that. They're like you're okay. It's time for you to retire, or you're even if when you're not, so you're gonna retire. They don't make there's no packet to retire good with, and what like the railroad. I remember, man, when you retired from the railroad, you got a good deal. You were set.
Yeah, you were set for...
They took care of the people that took care of them for so many years.
Yeah.
You give that company 25 years, 30 years, they made sure you were taken care of afterwards.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
You just don't see that anymore. Look at like cell phone carriers.
Yeah.
Cell phone carriers are a big deal. Everybody gives new offers for a new customer that comes in, and then the old customers, they just keep raking up the hike until. And I have people that play the game. Yeah. With the cell phones and the cable companies and all that, they call in. Oh, I'm going to switch to another carrier. We all know we do. We all know it happens. Or if you switch every couple of years, you could always get another deal, right?
Right.
So everybody's I don't want to switch every couple of years.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
I don't want to go through that hassle. Right. Just give me a good deal.
Right.
And then I don't know. After I've been here for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe give me a break. You're not acquiring. You don't have to spend any money acquiring me as a customer anymore.
Right.
Maybe take some of that acquisition cost for a new customer, and then spread that love around existing customers.
Exactly. Don't
just keep raising the rates. It's just crazy. Yeah. So.
I mean, I get inflation and everything's more expensive, but it's gotten crazy.
And I get things go up. I really do. But when you don't have to spend any more money to get this customer,
right?
That means less money in advertisements, I would gather. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish the companies would go back to a loyalty program.
Yeah.
And help us out. Yeah. So now we're going to go out and hang out with Sunday shooting darts, aren't we?
We are. We're going to we're going to do a double header.
So we play 2 different people.
We do. We're going to start at 2 p.m. make up for an upcoming match, and then we're going to play a regular match scheduled.
Okay. So those of you guys don't know, we've done bowling leagues. Mm-hmm. Last year was our first dart league.
This year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Earlier this year was our first dart league. This is the second season, or second session of that dart. Mm-hmm. We didn't do too bad.
We came in last.
Dead last.
Dead last. But we're doing better this
yeah, what place are we in?
I think 4th or 5th.
How the heck did that happen?
Because we did really good the first day.
You hear that? I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't think we even missed the dartboard this time, did we?
I did a lot. I was picking up mine off the floor a lot.
So we started this dart league to get in there with Lacey, right? Lacey plays darts.
Yep, Lacey and Corey.
Right, so we hang out with them and go play darts, and they do all camping too, don't they?
They do, yep.
When does camping season start?
Usually about Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. Mm-hmm. So are we planning on going out there to do a big...
I don't know yet. I haven't heard anything. So as of right now, no.
All right. I guess some social aspect going on there, and that'll be fun.
That would be fun.
There's also something I want to do here in town, too. It's that axe throwing.
Oh, yeah.
We still haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
And then we did some research. They have these for...
The Smash places.
The Smash place. That's what I was going to say. See? You and me are right there. So I guess you go to this room and you pay to go in there and just...
And smash stuff.
Just destroy everything.
Yeah.
That gets out some anxiety.
It does. That would take out a lot of stress.
I think I would like that. That would be kind of cool.
I would too. I can put some pictures on different stuff to smash.
Any particular picture you have in mind.
Looking at you, baby.
I can see that. That would be kind of... So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here to do in Omaha.
There is. Well, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't done yet that I would like to try to do.
Like what? What left?
There's a couple new wineries I want to try.
There are new wineries.
Not new wineries, but wineries. There's that one in Neola where they were supposed to have... I think they were supposed to have the fruit wine this year.
Oh, when we went out there, they did... The fruit wine was out of season, right?
Yeah. They didn't have any. So they thought maybe this year they were going to have some.
I think a call out there, and let's see if we go out there. Now that it's the weather here in Omaha is starting to warm up, so now we can start getting out again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. No longer stuck in the house, and don't really like to go out when it's bad weather.
Yeah, if it's below 40, I don't like to go out.
Yeah, below 60, and I'm not either.
Yeah, you Californian.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to get the bikes to tune up and oil changes and get them ready to go out, aren't we?
I think we are, yeah.
You think we are? Are you not ready to this year yet?
I want to, but I'm still scared.
Oh, what are you scared of?
Biffing it again.
Biffing it again? Okay, so you've actually fallen off a motorcycle.
Yes, 3 times.
3 times.
3 times?
Well, there was a one time you forgot to you were stopped at a dead stop and you forgot to put the kickstand down.
Yeah, that was up at the Underwood, the Blair place.
Cottonwood yep.
Arena.
Yeah.
And I did it out here in the driveway too, didn't I?
I don't remember. You almost
I caught
did.
it that time.
You caught it before you dropped it. And then you were taking a turn and you didn't downshift correctly. Mm-hmm. And you went, and at like 5 miles an hour, you kind of barely walked it. And the bikes are heavy, so, it kind of tipped over. No damage.
No damage.
So, and then what was the other time?
The other time was up in Fort Calhoun. We stopped at that wine tasting room.
Oh, you biffed it hard in that wine tasting place.
Yeah.
That was all gravel.
That was gravel.
Motorcycle, I will avoid gravel on a motorcycle. Most people do.
I am now too.
When we went through Cottonwood, you took us through the whole gravel road. Didn't fall at all. You go into this little driveway with a little bit of gravel and then over. You didn't hurt yourself.
I hurt my pride more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say the fastest you were going in one of your falling off a motorcycle was at like 5 miles an hour, if that.
Yeah, because I wasn't going that fast there either.
No.
Because we had slowed down and I was
You were parking.
In. Yeah.
You were parking. So, you have a tendency of, now you got a good view of a lighthouse one time from a
stretcher.
From a stretcher?
Yep.
What happened there?
So we were up in Oregon. It was right outside of Tillamook.
Tillamook, the cheese. Mm-hmm. Love their cheese.
And the reef jerky.
Yep.
But we were walking down the path, and it was like there was 4 of us, and I was walking on the end, and I stepped in a hole in the gravel and tumbled. Ended up spraining both of my ankles.
Didn't break them, you just sprained them?
I didn't have any breaks at that time because they couldn't really tell on the x-rays.
Okay.
So they had to call the ambulance because I couldn't stand up.
Okay.
Or walk.
Both ankles?
Both ankles.
Oh, wow. You did it big.
I did. Go big or go home. So I was like, well, just drive the car down here, get me in the car, we'll drive back to the hospital. Well, you can't drive it because they have those big metal poles that you can't drive around.
Okay.
So we call an ambulance. They get me on the stretcher, and it's uphill, going back up to the parking lot, of course. So they get about halfway up the hill, and they're like, okay, we need to stop for a minute, catch our breaths. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, while you're catching your breath, please don't let me go, because I don't want to roll down the hill and into the ocean. But I got a really cool picture of me on the stretcher, one of the volunteer firefighter guys, and then the top of the lighthouse and the ocean.
Well, that would be a really, really good picture. So that was a pretty good fall.
That was. And then, of course, being taken away by ambulance. My friend had to drive her and her daughter and her friend basically through the forest to get to the hospital. So I told the driver, I'm like, look, you gotta go really slow because my friend gets lost in her hometown. So I'm like, you gotta go slow so she can keep track and doesn't get lost, because then you'll be looking for her.
So, any other falls?
I know there's had to be one, I just can't think of one at this time.
Okay. Well, I want to say one of our first dates, you ran into a hitch pretty hard, too. So...
Yeah, that wasn't really a fall, though. I just kind of walked into it.
I don't think, as hard as you hit it, I don't think I could have walked away from that. You called me the next day and say, what's this big bruise on there?
Yeah.
That's not what a guy wants to hear after going on a date with a woman. I'm telling you that right now.
No. That was fun, too.
That was fun. We actually, at that time, before the drinking got involved, we did a little hike right around was that the North Platte?
I believe so. Where was it?
I thought that was at North Platte. Wasn't that happened at that birthday party we went out there? Your friend Mandy, or...
It was their anniversary.
Anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, the Platte River.
The Platte River, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it splits somewhere there, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. Oh, yeah, we went... Did we go up the observation tower?
I think we did. We went upstairs up into this little overlooking the whole area there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I was perfectly fine there.
Well, that's true. So pre-me, you were accident prone.
Yeah.
I remember another accident you had.
Which one?
An accident, you falling out of a truck.
Oh, with Lacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Lacey again.
Yep.
How long have you and Lacey known each other?
We pretty much grew up together, so we've known each other all of our lives. Our parents bowled together. So we went to different elementary schools, but we went to the same junior high and high school.
Okay. Do you guys play sports together?
We did.
Okay.
We played an out-of-school league, and we were known as Skippy and Trippy.
Okay, who's Skippy and who's Trippy?
Lacey's Skippy, I'm Trippy.
Because you fall all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lacey was Skippy because she pitched, and somebody hit the ball to her one time, like beeline, and she kind of like skipped over it, so we all called her Skippy.
Softball, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys known each other for a while?
Mm-hmm. We've also played volleyball together on, like, not school leagues, so...
Okay. So, kind of like... I grew up in California, so we had Pee Wee.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Pee Wee out here?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I remember Pee Wee, and we had the Pee Wee dances. That's what, and I played baseball, I played football, I played soccer. So I played all those. In fact, you can see some of the old plaques.
Yeah.
I bowled when I was a kid.
I did too.
So I did a lot of sports when I was a kid. And then I was a big skateboarder. So, I've got an album full of me doing tricks on a skateboard that I probably couldn't do nowadays if I tried.
I probably couldn't either. I used to have a skateboard too.
Did you?
I did.
Could you do an ollie?
No.
You don't even know what an ollie
I don't
is,
know
do
what
you?
an ollie is.
Ollie is when you make the board jump up.
No, I wasn't that.
Ollie 360. Have you watched any of Tony Hawk?
No.
No. Well, there's your problem.
Sorry.
So we used to go to SeaWorld a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of where I went. SeaWorld. We lived right down the street from Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So generally, I'd get a season pass. I could literally ride my bike up to Angel Stadium and to Knott's Berry Farm. They were right there.
Wow, that would be awesome.
That was pretty cool. We do a lot of craft fairs here too, don't we? We like to go to craft fairs.
We do. We like to. We missed the big one this last weekend.
Oh, what was the big one?
Down at the Ralston Arena.
I've heard there's a few of them there. I like the smaller ones. I don't like the major, huge, mega craft fairs. I'm not very fond of those. I like the smaller.
Have you ever been to one though?
Long time ago in California, they had.
Okay.
There's this, and it was huge. So it would take the whole stadium parking lot. So imagine Angel Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place you park on, like a corner of their lot, and then the rest is all like a junk or swap meet kind of deal. Oh. And the thing was huge. It would literally take you an hour or so to walk all the way around it.
We have one of those called Junk Stop here.
That's in Iowa, right?
No, it's in Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of northwest of us, somewhere out there.
Okay. What's the one we went in Iowa that with all the antiques and stuff? There's that antique town that's just across in Iowa. Your dad went with us.
Oh, Walnut.
Yeah. Walnut, Iowa.
Yeah, they had a pretty big.
That was a pretty good size one. That was like the whole town involved.
Yeah, it's a pretty small town, but the whole town was involved.
Still, it wasn't that small. We walked quite a bit, so it was quite a bit of walking. So yeah, that's not too bad. So yeah, we like to go. Now Lacey, she does a lot of these craft fairs, right?
She does. She makes her own, makes tumblers and
T-shirts, hats, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think she's steering away from the T-shirts and hats. She kind of got out of it, so.
Well, we're going to need merch for our show. Maybe we can reach out to her and see what we can get. Maybe she could get us, get our viewers some T-shirts and hats when they start listening here. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm sure she could hook us up.
I think we're going to have all our. I think we'll try and get our friends in there. We'll do a pimp my friend hour or something like that every little bit.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that.
I'm good with that.
Me too.
What are we gonna do? Call Pimp My Friend?
Pimp my friend.
Hoes better have their money. We'll do it. We'll get Chris, the chiropractor, on. We'll have him go through that. I know we're all kind of planning on that.
Yeah.
So we could have Lacey, and you have friends that are constantly doing. Like at one time, you did craft
31.
fairs. 31.
I sold 31. Yep.
And that was that's bags, right?
The bags and purses
Right.
and stuff. Yep.
So yeah, you used to do that stuff. I mean, we did Jocelyn Castle. I remember with that.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you got perks when you do those
I
craft
know.
fairs. So maybe you get back into it and get me into Jocelyn Castle again.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. Would you?
Oh yeah. You were selling stuff. I went up there, and I mean, I talked with one of the people that work there, and I got to go all over the place there. I was just like, and you know what? A lot of times you don't know if you ask, who knows?
Ooh, I bet that would be interesting to go back there now.
They have a bowling alley in their basement. Now you also bowled it. It's called Chops,
Mm-hmm.
but our house now is Maplewood
Maple.
Lanes.
Yep.
Isn't there and Chris, my buddy Chris, was saying something about there's a church with a bowling alley in the basement.
Yeah, it's in South Omaha. It's Immaculate Conception, I think, where they have the bowling alley in the basement.
Okay. And now South Omaha is mostly a Hispanic district.
It is, yes.
So good Mexican food.
Probably. I haven't.
What do you
really,
mean probably?
I haven't really ate at too many.
I've eaten in South Omaha.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you have. Well,
I went
one
there
time.
with Don and Corey, me and a bunch of the girls. I used to hang out with a bunch of these girls, and we used to go down to South Omaha because Don lived downtown there.
Where did you go?
God, you're talking 10 years ago?
Okay. Sorry.
I don't. Where did you eat last Wednesday? Yeah, see,
Remember?
you don't remember. You want me to remember something 10 years ago?
Yes.
It was. I remember it had a green awning. I remember no one spoke any English in there. That's how you know you're getting really good
Yeah.
Mexican food
Mm-hmm.
because they barely have to do it, and you could read the menu and you had to point.
Yeah.
If you don't speak Spanish, you better point. Yeah, it was really good. Don't get me wrong. I had a taquito
Yeah.
and I had a couple tacos. Ooh,
We'll have to go try a few more spots down there then.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that. You took us out to what was that?
Howard's Charo,
Howard's Charo. What's that?
the Mexican restaurant in South Omaha.
Oh no, I was talking about that. A poodle place.
Oh, the Pink Poodle.
The
Yeah.
Pink Poodle. That place probably good in its prime. It looked like it was winding down, didn't it?
Yeah, that's really sad because I've heard a lot of really good things about it. So the food was good, but I was just a little bit disappointed a little bit.
Kind of dated.
Yeah.
It just. And I don't mind a date. Listen, I would love to go to like an old 50s style diner or, I think at one point, didn't like Sonic drive-ins have like the skates out there? Yeah, see, they need to bring that stuff back. I would be okay with that.
They won't because of COVID.
Well, I think it's more of a hazard now. You got people running around on wheels and
crazy people in cars.
Yeah. I can see it. Well, times change. That's what happens. So you got to roll with them.
Yeah.
We might not like all our changes.
Just don't roll over them.
Right. So yeah, that sounds like. So yeah, we'll still have a bunch of our friends on.
Well, the lady I stalk on Facebook with the horses.
Yeah.
One of her mares had another baby today.
Well, so who is this lady?
Her name's Katie. Katie Van Slyke, I think it is.
Okay, and what's her Facebook page, or is it Facebook?
It's just under her name, yeah.
Just under her name?
Yep.
Okay.
So she works in this horse farm, I think it's not just a horse farm because she has other animals. She just got a donkey.
Okay.
She's got a couple goats.
Okay.
A couple little mini cows.
Now, are they fainting goats?
No.
You can't yell at them; they like roll over and.
No.
Okay.
But the goats and the donkey are really different now.
Oh well, I'm glad. I mean, so the pig's not quite in that cahoot anymore.
I don't think she has pigs.
Who does not have? If you're gonna have goats and everything else, turkeys.
I think she turkey hunts, but I don't think she has turkeys.
Okay. Well, she could come in our backyard.
Yeah.
So and now we have 2 dogs. So our dogs will, if anything goes out in the backyard, they're set to alert us. They tell us when someone's moving around outside our house, which
Or when the occasional rabbit's out there.
Or
too.
when the occasional rabbit's out there. We hear about the rabbit drama out there with the dogs. I will tell you, when the turkeys got really close to the fence, those wild turkeys, they didn't know what to do about that, did they?
That was funny, because Raven was just like, what is that? I don't think I've ever seen one of those before.
They didn't bark. They didn't. Almost like they're like, I don't want to bark at that. That thing looks mean.
She was like in a trance.
Yeah. Well, both of them were. They're both kind of just staring like, what is that? And, well, they did the same thing. So we went to Colonial Williamsburg, right?
Correct.
We walked around during the day. Now they had horses.
They did.
The pups went with us.
They did.
You wanted to pet a horse.
Yes.
Now, your service dog is Sadie.
Correct.
Sadie did not want you to get close to that horse.
She did not. She didn't she try to get in front of me?
Yeah, she tried to stop you from going in, and I think she caught it as a danger.
Yeah.
So she tried to stop you, and then when you kept trying to walk through, she got up and she tapped you with her paw to, alert you of a danger, which is what she's trained to do. She lets you know when there's a potential hazard.
Right.
Especially, and she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She was confused. It was our first time seeing a horse. Raven didn't want anything to do with the horse either.
Our scaredy cat.
Yeah. So, in fact, I think I got close enough to the horse to pet it, but it wasn't moving. So I don't think she realized it was a horse. She thought maybe it was a statue because she approached it very cautiously.
Yeah.
And then when the horse looked down at her, she jumped about 5 feet off the ground and said, nope.
I'm out.
Now, we also saw deer. They saw their first deer on this trip, too.
They did.
We got a picture.
They barked at that because...
They did bark at the deer.
Yeah. But I think it was probably because we were in the car and they probably felt safe in the car. Now, if they were outside the car, I don't know if they would have done anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they felt comfortable in the car. Of course, in the car, we take off their harnesses.
Right.
When their harnesses are on, they're working dogs. So when their harnesses come off, they can be dogs.
They're free puppies.
Free puppies. And it's pretty important to it's nice to have, dogs have to be dogs to a certain point. Right. Even a service dog. So people have to understand that. But once they get that harness on, their whole demeanor changes.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see that happen.
You can tell more with Sadie than you can with Raven, but yeah, you can definitely tell a difference in Sadie when she gets her harness on.
Same look I have Monday morning when I'm heading down here to the office. Crap, I got to go to work.
It's like, damn it.
Right. So they're just like me. It is, I got to go to work. Nobody wants to go to work, let's be honest with you.
No one does.
So, yeah, so you'll hear our adventures with the animals because they went to, we talked about them going to the museum with us.
Yep, they went to the Revolutionary War Museum.
Yeah, I don't think they were used to service animals. Yeah. I don't think there's too many people that come in there with service animals.
Right.
We're kind of a little bit unique because we both have a service animal. So I think that throws people off as well.
It probably does a little bit, yeah.
I would say, you kind of watch and you see what they do. I think they saw that they were well behaved.
They were so well behaved.
I think with Raven, she alerted me while we're going through that she had to go to the restroom. And I started walking out and I ran into a guy working there. I said, my dog has to use the restroom. He goes, oh, you go out this side door. And I said, okay. So we went out. He goes, how do you know the dog has to go to the bathroom? I said, she alerted me. We walk outdoor. She goes, and she just had to pee.
Yeah.
So she goes out there and pees and then comes right back in. And I mean, we turn around and she sat, we talked, and he was like, wow. And that's when the curator came up and said, I wish our kids would be as well behaved as your dogs.
Yep.
The only time, what people don't also know about service dogs are when you're talking with the person with the service dog, you're supposed to ignore that dog.
Right.
You're not supposed to make eye contact. You're not supposed to pet it. You're not supposed to interact with it. Right. Because when you try to do that dog, like with Raven, if there's a kids around, she'll alert me. Kids have a higher register, and I sometimes have a hard time hearing that register. So when a kid comes up, she barks and alerts me. And then you say thank you, and she stops. Now, if a child keeps approaching and gets in her face or gets up to pet her, she then will alert me and say, hey, someone's bothering me, which she's really good at.
Oh, yeah, she's really good at that.
And then you have to tell this kid no.
Right.
So, and we're going to have a whole show on etiquette with service dogs and animals and even kids. I mean,
that's one thing I've always learned too, is that you don't approach a service dog, and you know me, I will try to pet any dog I see. So
Well, and don't get me wrong, you don't just walk up and pet a service animal.
Right.
However, you could ask and say, is it okay if I pet them? Are they okay with that? And some dogs are okay with it. Some people are not. But the ball's in the person's court, not just some random person coming up. And then you also want to make sure that you give that animal and that person a little space. You don't always want to crowd them. And I see people just wanting to, like, there's a tail on that dog. Don't step on the tail of the dog. That's the sure way you're going to get bit or a dog turning around on you. I don't care how well that trained. You come up and kick me in the butt, I'm going to try. I'm going to turn around.
Right.
And if I don't know what your intentions, that might not go out your way. The common courtesy, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about kids. Kids, I'm okay with kids, but when they're running around
and
screaming, or running around in a restaurant, you're sitting down to eat, and you have this kid like running laps.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. And it probably crosses a few people's mind of, if I just stick out my foot, wonder how far that kid will slide, depending on how fast he was. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't advocate hurting a kid unless they really, really don't. But, I mean, I guess we're losing a lot of common respect, common courtesy. I guess people are now at this point I guess they demand respect instead of trying to earn it.
I can see that, yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. A lot of everybody thinks they're so entitled to everything nowadays. And it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, you have to earn it just like anybody else. I'll give person respect once they earn it. But if they disrespect you or anything like that, like talking with people on the phone, we deal with it every time. If they call screaming, yelling, I'm the first person to say, hey, I'm not going to yell and cuss at you.
Right.
I don't get paid enough to do that.
I've heard you say that a few times too.
I also don't get paid enough to hear it from you either.
Yeah.
So if
I'll always put my call or like I'll go unavailable so I can hear you.
So you have heard me.
I do.
Okay.
I'm like, ooh, I wonder what they're talking about now.
So you try to eavesdrop on me a little bit. Okay. Well, and that's the thing is, a lot of times they're yelling and screaming. Now, I don't really generally like to raise my voice. This is my natural tone.
Yeah.
This is not, my voice is not edited. I have a face for radio. I'm here. Deal with it. No, but when I get aggravated and I get mad, I do get a little louder.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
People, when I used to be in the office, people used to say that. People knew where I sat because they would say, if someone got uppity with me, I don't mind getting uppity back. I'll put them right back in their place.
Yeah.
And I'll raise my voice, and my voice carries.
Yeah.
I don't need a microphone.
You don't.
But
I, on the other hand, do. But that's okay.
That's true. But so I could project that voice, and so what happens when I get angry? Does my voice get deeper, louder? What goes on with it?
You get a little bit louder.
Okay.
And I always pick up on, I'm not cussing at you. Please don't cuss at me. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, that's a good call.
Right.
So I'll be like, I wonder what he's trying to make them, or trying to help them with, and they're just not getting it.
Well, and I guess that's the problem with a lot of these things is, listen, I'm going to be the most respectful person you're going to talk to until you come at me sideways.
Right.
And then I'll get as bad as you sometimes. No, I get it. The goal is, you got to be better than, but if you're in the gutter, I'll kick you while you're down. I don't care.
That's one of the things I like about my job is I don't have the angry people calling me.
Oh, okay.
I have demanding people call me, but I don't have angry people.
Yeah, I guess, and you're doing them. You're trying to get them somewhere.
Right.
Business people. I mean, they have a different mindset, I think.
Yeah.
So where I deal with, listen, if you're calling, I'm going to try and help you out.
Right.
Don't cuss me out. Don't start yelling at me. I'm just here to help you.
Right, because when you, if that was me and you're cussing at me, I'm not going to help you.
Right.
So I'm like, if I'm calling someone, I'm not going to yell at them because I know I need their help. I'm not going to yell at them because if I yell at them, they're not going to want to help me.
Right. And it goes the other way. So when I call someone for customer service and I'm talking to them, I start off, hey, I'm having an issue. I will tell them right off the bat if I'm frustrated or if I'm not, hey, listen, I'm a little frustrated. I'm going to need your help. Now, if they say okay, and we can have a really good conversation.
Right.
If you give me an attitude, or you start to lie to me, or you start to pee down my leg, tell me it's raining, I don't deal very well with that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
Right. Be
honest. Be upfront. If you screw up, I'm all for it. Hey, you know what? I screwed up. This is what I did. I'm sorry, and move on. Yeah. I've done it at work. I've quoted prices wrong. I say and I see it and I say, you know what? I'm sorry, that was the wrong price. Your price is this. Yeah. You have to correct it. I've had to call customers back and say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. People don't like to do that anymore.
Right. Well, that's like when I called United today. I was like, look, having some issues. These people got to the airport. They were told that their return tickets weren't right. I'm like, I need your help.
And they were helping you, right?
And she was helpful. She was like, oh yeah, she brought up dinosaurs versus the new agents. And she's like, if they had gotten some new agent at the airport, then you might have had a problem. But
so we're going to have a whole segment on this very subject, right?
Yep.
So this is just a tidbit of what the customers are gonna hear. So yeah, that's actually pretty good.
She was really cool. I couldn't actually get off the call with her for quite some time because she was wanting to bring up some other stuff, and I was just like, okay, I gotta go.
The hardest part about my job is you have that, and I want to say it's the older generation. Mm-hmm. If they've lost their significant other, trying to pick up the pieces from there sometimes is difficult. Yeah. I get that. I don't know how many times I've gotten where they just want to call and talk. Right. They miss that social interaction. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we get that with our younger generation now too. Yeah. I don't think COVID helped with the social aspect of anything. No. I don't think they're teaching it in school. I mean, do they have debate in school anymore?
I think so, because I saw it on one of the Facebook pages for
that should be a mandatory class.
Yeah.
There should be a class that does how to change a tire, how to balance a checkbook, how to talk with others.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a life skills class and I wish even my school didn't do it.
Really?
No. We had shop, so
I remember we had sewing and cooking and stuff like that, but
yeah. So I mean, okay, so I could do a stitch pattern. Okay, but yeah. I'm negative $40 in my checkbook because no one taught me how to do that.
Right.
There should have been skills.
Checkbooks are obsolete now too. I mean.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Now I'm talking. Now I'm a dinosaur. Thanks for
no
that.
Problem.
I appreciate that.
And I can just say that because I looked at your checkbook the other day and it still had some other address on there.
Well, no one writes checks anymore.
Right. They're obsolete. Nobody uses them anymore.
I mean, what was the last check I wrote in there too?
Like the county treasurer or something.
Yeah, for the house taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only thing, and I normally wrote the check in and put it in an envelope and then drove it up there.
Yeah, and now you can pay online by check.
Don't they charge now for that though?
No.
Oh, thank God. That was the other thing that I hate.
They charge for credit card usage, but not e-checks.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you do and I get that. I mean, credit cards they charge a fee.
Right.
So now a lot of the craft fairs we talk about they're like cash and carry, but they do the swiping of cards, right?
Yeah, there's you can do through Venmo.
Venmo's a pay system.
Yeah. So it's hooked up to your bank account, so it's not really like a card or anything. It's just
Okay.
you transfer the money. A lot of people use that, and then a lot of people use, like, I think it's called Square.
Oh, yeah, that's a little white thing
Yeah.
that they plug on the bottom of their
Yeah.
phone.
And that way they can take credit card payments. So.
Yeah, that's pretty. Speaking of dinosaurs, we saw, we were in a grocery store and the person in front of us was writing a check.
Really?
Yeah, in Hy-Vee. Did you see that?
Oh, that's right.
I was stunned. I was like, why is this taking so long? And then I saw them like check. I'm like,
And they had to get her ID.
Right,
That's right.
right.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, why are they writing it down? And I'm like, why is he asking her that information?
Yeah,
and then I saw him put the check in the little envelope.
yeah, I'm like, are you the police officer? You know, license and registration to check out. I didn't know what was going on.
I didn't either until I saw him put it in the money thing.
So how controversial are we going to get? How controversial are we going to get on this podcast?
I don't know yet.
Do we want to hit like some of the hot buttons that go, or do you want to try and avoid those subjects right now?
We might see how if we can push a few buttons here and there.
I'm all for pushing buttons.
Yeah, I know you are.
So, well, let's talk about
But
that.
that's
So,
a good thing, though. I mean, it gets people talking. So.
right. Well, and my biggest problem, and the reason I don't want to really go into what are some of the hot, I know LGBTQ is like a big topic right now.
Yeah.
Gun control is always, always up there. Politics is always up there. My problem with that is I can see both sides of it.
Right.
I am really in the middle. I just don't think the left and the right or the one side, these extreme sides don't seem to want to talk and come into the middle. It's not even get along. It's like they're pushing their agenda and they don't even want to, they won't even give an inch for, to get some understanding.
Yeah.
If people would just sit down, shut up, maybe hear the other side, and then the other side sit down, shut up, and then hear it, and then have a conversation. If we can do it, I'd love to do it on this show, but I don't think I want my show platform to be a yell fest or a...
We'll keep it light, and then we may push a little. I don't know yet.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So we can get into some touchy subjects. We'll see.
Okay, I'm good with that. I think I have some touchy subjects on there, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I have some drama probably planned for some of these shows. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. And we're gonna have like I said, we're gonna talk about with some of your friends.
Mm-hmm. Some of your friends, some of my friends. So.
Yeah. See how it goes. You think we'll get Kenny on here? He'll talk about bowling.
Right.
He does bowling, and what else he does? He's speaking of video games, he's like a big racer, right?
Yeah, he does the online car racing or something like that.
Yeah, apparently that's big. I guess he was just in a big old tournament that was like, I don't know if he said 4,000 or 14,000.
I think he said 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Still thousands of dollars if he would have won. And now it's so big that he's like taking video of it, and he posted it in our Discord channel. So
he did?
Yeah, we use Discord for a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, he's posted a couple of his races in there. I think he's had a couple like really close finishes. That now that's not my cup of tea, but that's him. I would like to get in the real car.
Yeah.
Right. So talk to your NASCAR people. You were in a NASCAR club, weren't you?
I was. Yep. Yeah.
So met at a local bar.
Yeah. Started off in Bellevue. Kind of as a club, we had about 36 teams or so. Just kind of not really not like a fantasy football team where you picked your teams or whatever. It was
they had all the cars in a little bag, and you picked your car.
Right. It was a random drawing. So
right.
But yeah, it was pretty fun for a while. I did that for quite a few years. It kind of membership dwindled down a little bit, so we don't do it anymore. But it was pretty fun. It was nice to get out and socialize, and then NASCAR kind of changed their race formats.
Yeah, I heard some people don't like it, some people do.
And I just can't get into the whole taking a break during a race thing.
Yeah, cause it's like an endurance thing, right? I mean, that's like saying, okay, we're going to run a 5K, but we're going to have a break at every K.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, almost anybody could do it, right?
Right.
The endurance is, I think for motorcycles, it's called the iron butt.
Oh yeah.
And that's you have to ride so many miles in a certain time period, and you earn your iron butt. So now riding motorcycles, that the beginning of the season, you're on a few short trips getting used to that. Because after a while, sitting that long on that seat,
it's not fun.
Right. It's you just have to get off. That's probably why the gas tanks are
so small.
So small. I heard we went to that Harley Davidson. They had that electric motorcycle. Do you remember that?
No, where was that at?
Down in Kansas City.
Really?
We stayed at that hotel. They had an electronic motorcycle there, electric motorcycle.
Oh, I remember going there, but I do not remember the electric motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
Can we go get that for me?
It's just like a motorcycle with less range.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I want an automatic one. That's what I want.
Yeah, you want the transmission. You have an issue with the clutch and switching gears. Yeah. So you want an automatic. So you want a scooter.
No, I think, doesn't one of the motorcycle companies make a...
The Can-Am does. I think the Can-Ams aren't they? Those are the three wheels?
No, those are... Yeah, the Can-Ams have the three wheels, but I thought Harley made an automatic.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I mean, once you look it up.
I will.
Those are new bikes, though, so those are a lot more expensive. Part of the fun of riding a bike is switching the gears, though.
Not for me.
You'll learn. You don't even know how to drive a stick in a car, do you?
No.
Are we going to teach you that one year?
Probably not.
Man, I love driving a stick.
I remember I was driving one time in Bellevue, and I stalled in the middle of the intersection. That was not fun.
Oh, yeah. Just wait till you start to really learn, and you're on a hill, and you have to learn how to get off the gas, get on the gas and the clutch, off the brake as you're going uphill before you roll into the car behind you.
Yep. Nope.
That's the fun stuff. So I think we're going to have a pretty good show.
I think we are too.
I think our next show is going to be the want to go customer service and the work.
We can go customer service.
Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the after show. That's going to be our next show.
Bye, everyone.